Okay. I have with us a very special guest, all the way from America. Please introduce yourself, sir.
Charles Michael Mooney, born in Washington, D.C.
Very nice, very nice. And also the trainer.
Of Remain Stiffer.
Indeed. So, let's get this correct. When did you become the trainer of Berman?
Let's say about 3 months ago.
Okay, 3 months ago.
Out of Florida. We trained in a place called Big Time Boxing in Boca Raton,
Right.
Florida. And
Yeah.
then we moved from there to can't think of the name of the gym. But it's another gym in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Yes.
It's called,
Warehouses are there?
no,
Downtown?
no, I'll think of it in a minute. But anyway, it's the second gym that we could train out of.
Right.
And off and on preparing ourselves for a fight, not knowing what fight.
Okay. So, let's take it back. Where were you the night it happened? It meaning that event.
At home,
Yeah.
I saw both fights.
Yeah.
And the second one, definitely there to see that one, where it was a terrible ending, but I was looking forward for him to win. I like both opponents, both athletes. Now the first fight, I thought it could have been, it was entertaining. You know, that's what it's all about. You know, I like great entertainment. So I was home to watch both of those.
And what did you think of the second fight? I mean, you're a trainer. From the outside looking in, what did you see?
Well, I saw a guy that I thought he should have been doing something else other than the way he approached the fight.
Okay.
Speaking of Berman.
Yes.
He's a very agile, very quick, and explosive kind of fighter, but he didn't perform in that kind of that style of fighting. He fought in another style, which is a peekaboo kind of style, and that was not him. So I was watching to see what the results was going to be, and there it was. You know.
Were you surprised?
To a degree, because I thought his defense was a lot better than that. Again, Berman is a superb athlete. He has knowledge of the sport. He's an Olympian. He has the ability to knock a guy unconscious with one punch, and the ability to slip and bob and weave a punch that's coming his way. So I thought, because of those abilities, he would have done better instead of fighting in a peekaboo stance.
Okay. So you inherit Berman after that devastating loss.
Yeah. I was surprised. We've always communicated because we're Olympic brothers.
Okay.
And we've always talked about different things, main thing about investment this, investment that.
Yeah.
Because I believe in boxers having a small window, and we got to take care of ourselves.
Yes.
And so those kind of things we talked about, and I had an opportunity to share what I thought later on within the time span that he was there at Big Time Boxing. I had an opportunity to share what I thought he should have been doing.
Right.
One was using his fantastic defense and counter ability, and along with he's very agile to be a big guy, and faster feet. So I had the opportunity to share with him that, and kind of sparked an interest, because after that he started moving like the old Berman.
The public perception would be after that fight with Wilder, he's finished. And the first fight he had with Wilder punched the life out of him. Well, basically, you know, he took something away from Berman. So then he came back, he didn't look great against Rossi.
Right.
That's what people say. I didn't see the fight. And then he gets wiped up by Wilder. So people say, he's shot, he's finished, he's done. The first Wilder fight took it out of him.
Right.
Your thoughts?
Why I think Wilder is who he is. Every century, every year, there's a man that comes on this earth that has the capability of knocking another person out with no stress or strain. He can just hit you in your sleep.
Right.
Bermain has that same capability. Every horse has his day.
Right.
It's old saying, every dog has his day.
Correct.
And this guy is a vicious fighter. He's not your typical perfect boxing type person, but he has the strength to render you unconscious once he catches you. His timing is unbelievably fast, great timing, but also he has strength behind the timing, unbelievable strength. And Bermain caught it and rendered himself unconscious. But there were great fighters in this world that has done the same thing. So it really doesn't mean anything to me. You lose some things when you get cracked like that, and then you either gain some things. Sometimes the old guy told me long ago, when you lose, there's two things that happen. You either learn to lose or learn to fight. And I think he's learned that he has to fight instead of being somebody else's ideas, you know. And I think he's that guy that's coming back again he's gonna fool a lot of people.
The common consensus, or the common perception for this fight, is Joyce walks in and he blasts Stavern out of there. Is it as simple as that?
I don't think it's as simple as that. I was with the World Series of Boxing at one time myself, as a coach.
Okay.
At Memphis Force in Memphis. And that was another avenue for an athlete to go to the Olympic Games. If you made it through there, you went to the Olympic Games and you fight for a medal. Heavyweights at one time were famous. You had Olympic Games, you had famous athletes coming out of the Olympics. Right now, they're not there like they used to be. And I don't know how a guy that has 7 fights or more, I think it may be 8, to step up to a guy that's a 2-time, if I'm wrong, correct me, 2-time world champion, and never been 12 rounds. This gentleman has been 12 rounds at least 6 or 7 times. And you just can't compare the two. Unless he's a Superman that we don't know. And I don't think he's that. To me, he's not that fast. He has great ability to punch, non-stop puncher, but I don't think he has the knowledge that he's going to run into when he meets Bermain.
What does Abel Sanchez bring to the table?
Abel Sanchez is a great coach, outstanding coach. Can I throw a story in there real quick?
Of course you can.
I had the opportunity to bring Tony Thompson here, and we fought David Price, a 40-year-old boxer, fought David Price. The thought was David Price was going to run through Tony Thompson. Did not happen. We stopped, and they thought it was a fluke. And they brought us back again the second time, and we stopped them again. The second time that when we fought him, the coaching staff stopped. Lennox Lewis was his coach then. Okay. Lennox Lewis has a lot of abilities. He has knowledge of the sport. After the first 2 rounds, Tony Thompson and David Price, all the things he learned from Lennox Lewis that day went right out the window. And David Price went to sleep again. So now looking at this dynamite coach is bringing knowledge to the table, and hopefully that Joe will absorb this knowledge. But the same thing goes with almost all the humans that have interest in putting on gloves. Once the bell rings and then you get touched on your chin, especially by a puncher like Bermain, you're going to go back to what you know.
Now, I've listened to so many American coaches, boxing coaches generally, and they talk so good. They talk so good. And then when the fight time comes, the fighter flops. There's some very good charismatic trainers out there that can talk fantastically.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, people want to know, Bermain, is he in shape? Is he good? What's his weight like? You know, is he at 40 years old? Can he still perform? Or are you just saying all this to
sell?
Yeah. I mean, that's what, I mean, but you have got a record. You have a record that you've come to the UK already twice.
Yes.
And you've upset the apple cart twice.
Yes.
So there is a forewarning there that boxing fans watching this now may want to pay heed to. What's the difference between Joe Joyce and David Price?
Joe Joyce hasn't been knocked out yet. So I'm not here to dictate or think of what's going to happen to David Price. I mean, not David Price, but Joe Joyce. I went to Joe Young. In my opinion, I'm going to answer a couple of questions.
Yes, go ahead.
He's 40 years old.
Yes.
Knowledgeable fighter. Has been training for a while. Some people can, at 25, maintain a figure in that cut up body, and you have those that don't. Bermain is a big man. He's been fighting from heavyweight up to super heavyweight as an amateur. As an amateur, stayed at heavyweight, and then he moved up to super heavyweight. And he's done some fantastic things, as you know. The record speaks for itself. I don't care what he looks like. I mean, I think if we could change a fighter's mind and what he needs to eat and how, all that kind of stuff, you know, that's great if we can do that, you know. But you got a 40-year-old man that's interested in fighting. And I think in time, people are going to see what's going to happen with Bermain preparing himself for this fight. People say that will he end up fading as a 40-year-old man in this fight? That's yet to be seen, because I can't predict that. But I know what I want to see. I want to see him perform, do the things that we have trained to do in the training camp. And I believe that he can do that. He hasn't lost that much stuff in the past. You know, being cracked one hard time does not take your life away. Doesn't take things away from you. Remember I told you about two things?
Yeah.
You learn to lose, or you learn to win. And that's what I think is going to
So the idea would be, in a non-knowledgeable or one who is naive to the sport would think, got cracked by Wilder, and now he's going to go back, he's going to fight Joe Joyce, and the same thing will happen. But they haven't kind of calculated the time between the Wilder fight and this fight.
Right.
Some would say that it's a long layoff, too long a layoff. Others would say it's a layoff that could bring back a refreshed fighter.
I can address both of those. I think both of those answers makes a lot of sense. But I also think that you gain a lot of things. You have to come to yourself. You got to believe in yourself. And then at this time, a boxer goes through a whole lot of stuff. I've lost this fight, feel bad. He comes with all kinds of excuses. All of us do that. not all of us, but most boxers come to that conclusion where when they lose, they have to figure out if they want to do this or not. You know, but when you bring yourself to the gym and prepare yourself and try over and over again, that lets the coach know. That lets the boxer himself know that he can do this again. And I think he can do it again.
So when the call came, as Berman said, he said to me, oh yeah. He called me, he said to me, guess what? I said, what? He goes, I'm coming to the UK. I said, what? I said, what? You fight? He said, yeah. He goes, I'm on the undercard of De Gale and Eubank. I said, okay. Who are you fighting? Joe Joyce. I said, what? So I went, really? Joe Joyce? The guy that knocked your dreadlocks off? You went, yeah.
He did what? Say that again. He knocked his dreadlocks off?
He knocked his dreadlocks off. That was what was told. They were sparring, and he knocked Berman's dreadlocks off when they were sparring.
I never heard that one.
No, that's what's been told. That's what's going.
That's what's going around.
Yes. So were you there in that camp? Yeah. So you know nothing about it.
I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, you'll hear about it.
Okay.
So when you heard it was Joe Joyce, obviously either his manager or he told you, did he ask you, should I take this fight, or did he come to you, or what was it?
He was excited. He was ready to take this fight. I asked him about it. I told him I'd done my investigation. I did my background check and visualized him and looked at him. I saw a young, aggressive, tall, busy heavyweight boxer with a record of 8 or
7-0.
Something like that.
7-0.
Didn't make sense.
7-0. 7 fights.
To me, he's disrespecting the sport. He's disrespecting the idea of, I mean, how do you do that? It doesn't make any sense to have a guy that's these many fights versus a guy having 7 fights.
Yeah, but you'd say that WBS he was in.
Yeah, WBS.
And of course yeah.
Who else was a boxer? It's a bunch of amateurs fighting with no shirt on, doing 5 rounds. That's not 12 rounds.
But he's a tremendously conditioned athlete.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that, and I understand that. But I still think knowledge is going to take place. Knowledge and ability to punch. He has a puncher's chance. I myself don't care about the point system. Right now, because we're not coming here to win on the point system. I need to knock this man out, and I think Berman's going to do that. He's going to hurt him and knock this boy out.